We are heading off towards San Cristobal de las Casas. We have now 4 days to get there, and Greg has created a pretty cool route, I think. Some of it's paved, some of it is unpaved. So we're gonna have to see how that all goes, and we've got food for camping, and we're just getting ready to go. And down we go.
My home's only for the night, waking up in different places, and I stopped running from my life, and all the pieces found their places. My heart is home with you.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Go Roughly Around the World.
Welcome to this week's paradise. We've had a string of really lovely locations for our work days.
That I have picked, yes.
Yes, all Jessica. This one is Costa Rica. Where in Costa Rica? In the mountains, in the forest. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. This is our little casita, cabana.
Yeah, I found this little cabin, and it's like a little one room with a loft in the top, and it's got glass windows everywhere so you can see outside. There are howler monkeys just over there. There's supposedly toucans around. I haven't seen them yet. And Whimsy's got a friend to play with. So everything is going pretty well here.
And chickens to try to eat.
Okay, we shouldn't have said that one, but yes, she did try and get one.
She did. And so, in the last episode, we basically threw ourselves down one goat trail after another, ran into one dead end after another, and really struggled our way through a challenging day of off-road, of riding, and made it very little distance. And so in this episode, we've got some distance to make up on our route towards Oaxaca. And then from Oaxaca, we basically throw ourselves right back into the shit.
Yeah.
Stick around. Breakfast this morning is a very simple repast of scrambled eggs. Not even really scrambled, basically just thrown in there. If you clean your out and out right away, you generally will find that you can just kind of fling the coffee out. But if you leave it, then it starts to harden a little bit. And in that situation, you will find that Mother Nature has always provided you with something to help get the grinds out. This morning, it's a cow rib bone that I have been using to clean out the old grinds.
Yep. Need to get out of the tree. Yeah.
We've got a pretty ambitious route ahead of us. Each segment, before we start, we figure out where we want to end because we have to rent an Airbnb for our work days. And so that means we've got point A to point B and all of the points that we might want to visit in between. So usually I create a route that weaves between some highways, rural roads, and then maybe some shitstorm bad shit. And yesterday turned out to be a lot more of the shitstorm bad shit, so we haven't gotten anywhere near as far along as even a conservative estimate would have suggested. Thus, we have a whole lot of route ahead of us and only 2 days left to get to Oaxaca. We are not yet prepared to throw our hands up and just head over to the paid highway and make distance. So we are going to be ambitious, and ambition is usually the source of folly. A few years back, when we designed the very first prototype of the cockpit, I was our very first test pilot. Jess was actually in the States dealing with some residency papers, and so that means once it came out of production, that prototype went on her bike, and I got to test it out. And since then, I haven't done a whole lot of cockpit riding. It used to be that Jess would stop right in front of an obstacle and say, "You ride my bike." And as a standard machista, I would hop on there, I would leave Moxie on, I would ride right into the problem, and without any sort of acclimating to her bike or the load or anything else, and then I would fall over. And since then, Jess has just become such a phenomenal rider that she really doesn't need me for these obstacles. And when she occasionally does come to something that's, you know, extra difficult, I am not a better rider to be able to ride through it, let alone with the dog. So having ridden her motorcycle this morning with Whimsy on it, it really reminded me how capable she is. Jess does everything all the time with Whimsy in the cockpit, and she does it so phenomenally and so gracefully, and it really leaves me just awed. We basically just got to enjoy each other's role in the world for a bit. It was kind of cool being the center of attention and having people, you know, watch me going by on the purple bike with the big white dog, and just have Jess kind of be a nobody. So in this small town that we're riding through, they have a drinking water like purification store. So basically they're filtering probably the river water, and people are filling up their, you know, Sparkletts bottle size bottles. And so we're gonna fill up our Giant Loop Cactus Canteen size canteen here.
So we wanted to take a break by the river, which is just over here, and then Greg was up ahead and he saw that they had watermelon. So he went ahead and he bought half because it's huge, it's 5 kilos.
Acércate a la perrita. Y así. Así con la mano.
And these nice people, they cut it in half and they cut pieces for us. So we're gonna have this over by the river. I hope there's water, she can go swimming, and then we can enjoy. So we found some access to the river. It's a little bit muddy, probably because of the rains. Okay, run free, creature, run free.
Right to the trash. So our watermelon has made the journey. It has sweated a little bit, so I will want to clean the juices, but for now, let's eat.
Her tennis ball so she can do something while we're here.
If every day has an adversary, and I understand that that's a very fascistic way of looking at life, today's adversary is distance. And that is because we've got a long way to go. We are behind schedule, whatever that means, and we have Oaxaca waiting for us. So we are moving at a clip, which is to say not moving very quickly. And that means that we are not really fighting distance very hard today. We're stopped under the bridge, moto hobo style, and shirtless, because it's hot AF. This is a lunch break. So last break actually was Whimsy's lunch. Now it's ours. Lunch consists of some semi-stale bread, some leftover peanut butter and honey, a sapote that is just reached its point.
Isn't there some sort of disease that like shows when you like bleed from your fingernails? I feel like this is what that is.
Or maybe it's just like the zombie movies.
Maybe. This one doesn't have it, nor does this one. Neither do the ones on this hand. So something happened with these 3 on my left hand.
Well, at least you don't have black water. What I've done is kind of scrape it into goo, and we're using the shell as sort of a gourd that she's using as a bowl.
Something's awfully wrong here. It's not so simple and it's not so clear. She like a shadow, a ghost I once knew. I moved toward her, but she walks right through. And I don't wanna be afraid to say what I wanna say.
¿Qué parte vive?
Los Ángeles.
Yo me escuché por Los Ángeles.
¿Ah, sí? ¿En dónde?
East LA.
Oh, East LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, Long Beach.
Oh, Long Beach. Wow.
We have come to the small town of Chinantla,
Yeah.
and that is in Puebla State. So we've made some distance today.
Today we decided we're not going to be vegetarians because we can't be picky and
There's
we're
no
having
options.
chicken.
So we're having chicken, and this is a cantina restaurante. It's a Sunday night, so there's not much cantina going on.
There's only one guy who's
Other than
drinking
Jess's
and watching.
beer and my beer,
Yeah.
and one lonesome guy who's just downing like liters. So good on him.
Whimsy had a 626-minute day.
Well, everybody knows that this old hound dog can run. Yeah, everybody knows that this old hound dog can run.
No. Let's look at it again because remember there were these gate things. Do you want to just call her? Let's revamp. This is not correct either. This one. Yeah, our house is there, our turquoise. We just arrived at our Airbnb and the gate is locked.
Llegamos al AirBnB. Muy buenas tardes.
So we ended up going a little bit out of the way. Google was sending us to like nothing. We've now arrived and now we're just waiting to actually get in. This is our Airbnb here in Oaxaca, and it is all our own. We have this nice turquoise home here, this aqua home. Let's go, Wims. This way. Go on. Let's go. We're leaving our Airbnb here in Oaxaca. We did fail a little bit. I did want to do an insect tasting, which they don't seem to have. But we did end up going out last night for a meal that did have crickets, and I think that's it. But I wanted to do all the worms and stuff, but they didn't have it. So we have some of those crickets that we're taking along, and we are heading off towards San Cristobal de las Casas. We have now 4 days to get there, and Greg has created a pretty cool route, I think. Some of it's paved, some of it is unpaved. So we're gonna have to see how that all goes, and we've got food for camping, and we're just getting ready to go.
Good luck to you and lucky me. Ooh, look around you, take a little bit of what's beside you. Hello, yellow, hello, hello.
Long morning of riding that's turned into the afternoon, and it took us deep into these hills over Oaxaca. And in fact, there's a paid highway that comes through here, and I don't think that Google had a fucking clue about this. Now, obviously, we're not on the paid highway. We've pulled down a road, and we are having lunch. This is still one of my favorite camp cooking items because it's basically a little tarp. You can like fold up the sides a little bit and it gives you a rim, and it's great for just putting down when we're out on the ground in the middle of nowhere. There's no table, no nothing. The road got like bad in parts and it got really muddy. It was like I was asking Greg, like, how is this happening, because it got all like soupy mud. And I started having flashbacks to the Dempster when it was really muddy and really slick. And so I was so pussyfooting it and getting really anxious about it. But then after I did a couple of them, quite solid under it. So that was a good thing. And I was able to get through it.
Lucky me. Ooh, look around you, take a little bit of what's beside you.
And there we go.
Hello, 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 hello.
Tonight's a meal of what we've got left.
Thanks, Mother Nature. A few years back when we designed the very first and so Moxie was a great sport about that, and I, for the longest time, had the sort of highest tally of crashes with Moxie. Whimsy, there's still more here. What's wrong with you? Shane, come here. Come here. This, I think, is gonna help keep her regular. We have come to the small town of Chiantla.
No, Chiantla.
Chiantla.
It's like
Chinantla.
Whatever.
We have come to the small town of Chinan. We're just waiting on our food before we scarf it down and then go the fuck to bed.
Whimsy had a 626-day minute.
And sounds like fun.